I am SP Gupta and today I am going to take lecture on LIBR vapor absorption refrigeration system. In case of that system, the LIBR is basically used as an absorbent and H2O used as a refrigerant. Okay, clear? LIBR and H2O vapor absorption system is only used for the purpose where the required temperature is greater than 0 degree centigrade. We all know LIBR has strong affinity for the H2O vapor. Okay, and that property of LIBR is utilized in the system of LIBR vapor absorption refrigeration system. Okay, in case of the LIBR vapor absorption system, we do not required any rectifier and analyzer as which is required in the NH3H2O vapor absorption system. Why it is? Because that for that system the generator is at a vacuum pressure, and at that vacuum pressure the boiling point of H2O is much lower as compared to the LIBR. Therefore, once we add the heat to the generator, the water vapor will only evaporate and leave behind LIBR. Okay, I am repeating again, because the generator is at a vacuum pressure, and at that vacuum pressure the boiling point of H2O is much lower than as compared to the LIBR. Due to this, once we add the heat to the generator, the water is only evaporate from this generator and leaving behind LIBR in generator. Clear? That is why in case of the LIBR vapor absorption system, we do not require any types of analyzer and any type of rectifier. Okay, the main component of that LIBR vapor absorption refrigeration systems are: first one is evaporator, second one is what? Condenser, third one is expansion device, fourth one is absorber, fifth one is pump, that is the solution pump, and seventh one is what? Generator, and then last one is, that is the heat exchanger. Clear? Let us study, let us explain the system of LIBR. It has two pressure vessel. One is said to be the high pressure vessel and second one is said to be the low pressure vessel. Then that will said to be the high pressure vessel, and this is the low pressure vessel. That two pressure vessels are divided into two parts. That means this is the line which divided the pressure vessel into two part. This line is divided that pressure vessel into two part, and this line is divided that pressure vessel into two part. We all know the condenser and generator pressure are the equal pressure at the same pressure, and that pressure is said to be the high pressure. That is why the generator and condenser is in the high pressure vessel. Okay, and we all know the evaporator and absorber are at a same pressure, and that pressure is said to be the low pressure. That is why that two parts is in the low pressure vessel. Clear? Then high pressure vessel have the condenser and low and generator. Clear? And low pressure vessel have the evaporator and absorber. Why it is? Because evaporator and absorber is at a low pressure and that two pressure are equal, and condenser and generator is at a high pressure and that two pressure are equal. That is why the condenser and generator is in the high pressure vessel and evaporator and absorber is in low pressure vessel. We all know the absorber is connected with the pump. Therefore, this is the absorber which is connected with the solution pump. From the absorber, the rich mixture is coming out and goes to the pump. The function of pump is to increase the pressure of that rich mixture from absorber pressure or evaporator pressure to generator pressure or condenser pressure. Okay, and goes to the generator. The pump is connected with the generator. Therefore, the rich mixed solution will enter into the generator. Then what we have to do? We have to separate the LiBr and H2O from the solution. And that will be happen by the help of heat addition process. We have to provide the heat to the generator by which the H2O refrigerant is evaporate and leave behind LiBr weak solution in the generator. I am repeating again. Once we add the heat into the generator, the H2O from the rich solution is evaporated and leave behind in the generator, and that will be the weak solution. Clear? And that weak solution is basically goes to the absorber. Okay, but we all know the generator is at a high pressure and absorber is at a low pressure. In that case, we have to use a pressure reducer in the line of generator and absorber. Okay, therefore through this the lean solution is entered into the absorber, and between that line we have to use the pressure reducer so that the pressure of that lean solution is decreases from generator pressure to the absorber pressure or evaporator pressure. Clear? And the H2O is evaporated from the solution. That H2O vapor will enter into the condenser, and in the condenser there will be the condensation processes happen. Due to that condensation process, the H2O vapor will converted into the H2O in liquid form, and that will goes to the expansion device. Therefore, it will be the from the condenser is connected with the expansion device, expansion valve, and expansion valve is connected with the evaporator, we all know. Therefore, after the condensation process, the H2O vapor is converted into the H2O liquid. That will be LiQ, that is the short form of the liquid. That means the H2O vapor is converted into the H2O in liquid, and it goes to the expansion valve where it performs the throttling process, that is isenthalpic expansion process. Due to this, the pressure as well as the temperature of that liquid H2O will decreases, and that cold H2O will enter into the evaporator where the H2O produce the refrigeration effect. If we have to convert that hot water into the chilled water, then the liquid H2O refrigerant which is enter into the evaporator absorb the heat from that hot water and convert it into the chilled water. Okay, and due to absorption of heat from that hot water to the liquid refrigerant, that liquid refrigerant is converted into the vapor refrigerant at the outlet of the evaporator. Okay, on that vapor refrigerant, the lean solution which have the major part of LIBR is sprayed, and due to this spray process, the vapor refrigerant at the outlet of that evaporator is converted into the liquid H2O refrigerant, and that liquid H2O refrigerant will mix with the lean solution and form the rich solution in the absorber. After that rich solution in the absorber is coming out from the absorber, and the process is repeated. We all know the lean solution which is coming out from the generator and go to the absorber, the temperature of that lean solution should be as minimum as possible. If it is minimum, then the performance of system will be higher. Okay. Similarly, the rich solution which is coming out from the absorber and goes to the generator through the pump, if that solution have the higher temperature, therefore for the separation of LIBR and H2O from that solution, we have to provide the less amount of heat to the generator. Okay, therefore what we have to do, we can use the heat exchanger in between that line, and this heat exchanger fulfill the both objective. First, because the refrigerant which is coming out from the absorber and goes to the generator through the pump, that is said to be, that fluid is treated as a cold fluid. Okay, and the lean solution which is coming out from the generator and goes to the evaporator, that fluid is basically treated as a hot fluid. We all know the heat is always flow from hot body to cold body. In that case, hot fluid lost their heat and cold fluid gain the heat. Okay, due to loss of heat for the hot fluid, the temperature of that hot fluid decreases, and therefore the lean solution which is enter into the absorber which has the lesser temperature, and due to this the performance of system will increase. Similarly, the cold rich solution which is goes to the generator, which absorb the heat from the hot fluid, and due to absorption of that heat, the rich solution temperature is increases, and due to increase the rich solution which is enter into the generator, we have to provide the less amount of heat to the generator for the separation of LIBR and H2O from the rich solution. Clear? Okay. Next is, because in the condensation we have to heat rejection. For that condensation process, we can provide the air for the cooling purpose, or we can provide the water for the cooling purpose. Therefore, this is the coil. That will be the coil is basically have the cold water in, and it absorb the heat from the condenser, and due to this the vapor refrigerant which enter into the condenser and coming out from the condenser, that will converted into the liquid. Clear? Similarly, for the cooling purpose, we can use same cooling coil in the absorber also. Okay, it also increase the performance of system. Clear? That is the LIBR, vapor absorption system. Clear? Next one is comparison between vapor absorption system and vapor compression refrigeration system, that is VCRS. We all know the vapor absorption system utilize the low grade form of energy, that will be the heat energy. The vapor compression system utilize the high grade form of the energy, and that will said to be the work energy. That will be the first difference. Second difference is what? In case of the vapor compression system, there are the compressor and motor is the moving part, and therefore it is more noisy in the operation. But if we talk about the pump is only the moving part, therefore it is quiet in operation. That means the VCRS is noisy in operation and vapor absorption system is quiet in operation. Because in case of the vapor absorption system, there are the less moving part. In that case, the wear and tear in the system will be lesser. But if we talk about the vapor compression system, there are the moving part are compressor and fans. In that case, motors, in that case, the wear and tear is high in case of the VCRS. Okay. If we talk about the charging out to the system, we all know the vapor absorption system work as a very low temperature, even it is work in the vacuum pressure. Therefore, at vacuum pressure, the charging of refrigerant is very difficult. But if we talk about the VCRS, the charging of refrigerant is easy, simple. That means the charging of refrigerant in the VCRS is simple, and the charging of refrigerant in vapor absorption system are difficult. Why it is difficult? Because the pressure will be in the negative pressure, that is the vacuum pressure. Okay, the COP of vapor absorption system is much lower as compared to the COP of vapor compression system. Okay, because it is work as a less pressure, therefore the chance of leakage in vapor absorption system is minimum. But vapor compression system work as a high pressure, that is why the chance of leakage in case of vapor compression refrigeration system is high. Therefore, the possibility of leakage is more in case of vapor compression refrigeration system, and the possibility of leakage is very less in case of the vapor absorption refrigeration system. Okay, if we talk about the effect on performance with respect to the load. Okay, if we talk about the VCRS, there are the much effect with respect to the load. Once we change the load, the performance of system will also be changed. But if we talk about the vapor absorption system, once we change the load, the performance of system does not change. That means the reduced load have no effect on the performance, but the performance is affected with respect to load. Clear? The vapor absorption system has only 4 parts, therefore it is less bulky. But vapor compression system have the only 4 parts, that is why it is less bulky. But if we talk about the vapor absorption system, it has the 7 part more, that is why it is more bulky. Okay, and that is last one is the note point, The vapor absorption system only suitable for the large air conditioning plant. Okay, the vapor absorption system is only suitable for the large air conditioning plant, and vapor compression system is suitable for the domestic air conditioning and refrigeration. Okay.